I read some books like the Christian, the Bible, and I also read some about the Quran. So, to be honest, this book is very profound. I tell you some information about how the God creates the world. This story, this story very simple. So some things is cannot persuade me until now. So I would like to. Yes, I think about that. So why the people was create the world, create. They have the regulations, they have the rule.
Yeah.
It's who make the rule.
That's it.
Yes, the how these words operate. They operate very accurately. Yes, according some rules, according some laws. It's very typical. Who make this one?
If you allow me, brother.
Yeah.
So what you said just now about we have to help people, right? I asked you why, but why? But you said because people help me, so we have to help them. We also have to help people. This is a feeling that you have, right? This is a feeling you have inside you.
You help the people sometimes because you want to help people. The people will need help, and sometimes because you get the certification, you get the achievement when you help the people.
Right. So
Yes.
you're doing it because of something inside you.
Yes.
This feeling
Yes.
inside you
Right.
is telling you, I have to help them, and when you help them, you feel good.
Yes.
Where is this feeling coming from? Have you ever thought about that? Why is the feeling not the opposite that you feel? I don't care.
The feeling come from your heart. I think that is come from your personality. You like to do the. Some people, they want to help them because they get the help. Yeah, and they feeling the help is very valuable, and they want to do this valuable to help other people. That's sometimes
So don't you think it's amazing that you feel this compulsion to help others? That you feel this necessity, that you have to help other people, and when you help them, you feel good about it.
Yes.
Don't you think that is something noteworthy, that is something amazing? It's not because you are rationalizing it, it just comes to you naturally, doesn't it?
You're right. Some things when you see some people so vulnerable, they have some problem. Yeah, from the personal, the individual, the personality, you try to help them. Yeah.
So have you thought where this feeling is coming from? That is
From your heart.
Who put it there? Who
So-
put this feeling in you? Who put this in your heart? What is your heart? You mean my physical heart, boom, 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 boom? Or you mean the soul,
The soul, soul.
something metaphysical? So you believe in something metaphysical.
Oh yeah, I believe so.
Soul is something you cannot touch. You
Yeah.
cannot see.
Spirit,
It is something
spirit.
it is something metaphysical. You believe in that, right?
Yeah.
You believe in the nature of it. And where do you think this metaphysical part of us is coming from? What is the nature of it? How come there is this metaphysical part? And we have physical part and we have this metaphysical part. Have you
You're
thought
asking
about
very
trying
tough questions. That is
No, it's
a
just-
lot of the people cannot answer this question.
Sure. Have you thought
this
about
is
the nature of it?
we talk about the origin of the world. What's the origin of the world? So where is the words coming from? Let's we talk about stuff. Why the words exist? Why we are created? Or how these words operate? And how the rules was created? Why these words operate so accurately? That's very profound question from the philosophy. Yes, philosophy connect with the religions.
They're difficult questions. So, but the thing is, like you said, they're difficult questions, but people have had different answers for these questions. For sure, they're tough to answer, but people have had different answers. So that's why like brother is asking you, I'm also trying to ask you, have you thought about it and have you tried to find the answers to those questions? And do you have any that you believe in or not at the moment?
When I was in middle school, I read some philosophy and try to find the answer for these questions. I find this very hard.
But here's the thing. When it comes to, for example, science, yeah, and people ask, oh, water is falling from the sky. How is this? Then what you do is you form a hypothesis. So it could be because of this, could be because of that, could be because of this. Hypothesis is just your idea. Then what you do is you do an experiment to see which one works, which one makes the most sense. So we are inferring. We are experimenting, we are inferring, and then we are seeing what makes the most sense. That's why I asked you as well. I said when you look at such design, the design of the leaves, even if you look at the lines, this is an objective design. Or for example, they call it the Fibonacci numbers, the golden ratio. This is like natural beauty. You'll find in leaves, you'll find in stems, you'll see even in our face, in butterflies, symmetry, design. So the thing is, when you look at all of this, then as a human being, you ask yourself, what are the options? Maybe the world created itself. That's one option. Maybe it came by chance. Or maybe someone created it. So that's why I'm saying you infer. You're like, okay, here are the options. What makes the most sense? For example, no one was there at the Big Bang. Big Bang. But scientists say we have redshift. Scientists say we have background radiation. Scientists say we have this and that. They say, okay, so the inference to the best explanation or the most logical answer to us is there was a Big Bang. No one saw it. No one was there. It's the same with many other things. For example, even Africa and South America. They say it was, once upon a time it was one.
Yes, we saw this, the shape of the continents. They matched together. Sometimes,
But do you see?
I saw that.
So that's inference. That's inference. You're saying, let's look at that. No one was there, but they are using common sense and saying different shape. They must fit in like a little baby. You give them a square and you have a little toy and they have to figure out which hole the square goes in. And the child figures out, the baby figures out, oh, because this has 4 vertices, then the shape that it should go into also has 4 vertices. This is a square, this is a cube. So like this, that's why I initially asked you that when you see such immense design, if for example I showed you a portrait painting, you will say to me, very nice painting. Very nice. I'm sure you've been to Trafalgar Square and you've went to the museum and you've seen and admired the art there. I haven't seen one person that's gone into a museum and gone, wow, this came by chance, by itself, over millions of years. Have you people just look at that person and go, how? He's clearly, there's design here. Design means designer. So that's why when we look at ourselves, we say we have arms, we have opposable thumb. Cats don't have an opposable thumb. They can't open doorknobs. Our heart, we were talking about the heart, it beats. Like you're from China. You have Japan there as well. You've got certain things that China are very good at making. Certain things Japan are very good at making. Certain things Germans are very good at making. BMW, Mercedes, etc. But there is no car that somebody will say will be there for 70 years and no one expects it to break down. But the human heart beats 100,000 times a day. We don't expect it to stop. And I can tell you for a fact your heart didn't stop. Because if you stop,
I die.
You die. No more Alan. Yeah. So Allah protect you and hopefully you have a long and productive life. But the thing is that this is something we don't expect to stop. This is design. This is a creation. That when Nike is copying mountain goats, just so they can make hiking shoes. That shows that this is the actual design. We are the actual design. When you look at our fingers, yeah, you look at how we grip things. Even the small toe of our feet, if that breaks, we start hobbling. We don't walk properly. The fact that we are able to see colors, shades, gradients, just fantastic environment around us, whether it's a mandarin duck, whether it's a giraffe, whether it's an elephant, whether it's the bioluminescence of fish. Alan, my question to you is, when you see all of this, what makes the most sense to you? And you said to me,
sometimes, the more knowledge you have, the more deep you study, the more experience you have.
And the more you ponder as well, isn't it?
The more frustrated you have, you experience, you will find that some people take control of their life. Yes. Maybe 20 years later, I will believe the God will exist. But now I want to do So, but more and more, you will feeling.
Oh yeah.
Some people take control of your life, creates your fate, and you are along like drama. They have the play. They're already writing the manuscript, and you play your roles. You just do your job.
That's it.
And maybe your output, your final output or results already designed, like you said.
Let's just say someone is writing your story.
Yeah, writing your story.
Someone is writing your story, you are living life and you're doing wonderful things like helping the people at Red Bridge. Imagine if someone stops and goes, there is no writer to this story.
Something,
Think about this. Think about this.
Yeah.
Imagine if, as an actor, you turn around and say, there is no writer. Then the director will say, whoa. The writer will go, huh? The producer will say, we're spending all of this money. We're making the sets for this guy. We're giving him the dialogues and all of this. And he turns around and says, I don't want to think about this. You see, when you see something, you think of the purpose of everything that you see. But you know what, Alan? People don't want you to think. Shall I tell you why? If you start thinking too much, Netflix loses money. Because you're going to watch Netflix less and less and less and less. Sports shows, they will lose money because Alan is not watching the sports shows. Then all of these shops that want to give you the watches and the suits and everything, they're making less and less and less because Alan is not interested in buying. Alan doesn't just want to be entertained. Alan doesn't just want to do sports. Alan is interested in where he is going. That's why if you are waiting for the right time that you're going to think about this, the time will never come because more and more money is going to Netflix. Jake Paul is fighting Mike Tyson. Yesterday, Fury was fighting Usyk. Boxing match happening there, then this happening there, and cricket happening, football. They're going to become more and more exciting and more wonderful. But the thing is, when you die, Netflix carries on. Music carries on. The money goes from you to me, from me to him, from me to him. Life carries on. But you are now moving on. So those questions, that's when they really matter.
Your life, like the story, or your life, like the process of the learning. When you're born, your newborn baby, your children, you know nothing. You learn more and more and more and more. Maybe the final result, you get the connection with your God. On the process, sometimes you just learning.
Let me give you an example. Some people make God out to be like the final boss in a game. That you have to play all of these levels and then he comes right at the end.
Oh, you're
No.
right.
Yeah. God comes at the beginning. God comes at the beginning and he helps you through the whole game. God is there to help us. He's not some wonder that that nobody understands, and it's common sense. That when we look at ourselves, they say, and research this when you go home, Justin Barrett, Oxford University. He did 20 studies. Sorry, he looked at 20 countries and he looked at 40 studies over 3 years, and he concluded from the get-go, from when we're young, we believe in God. Olivera Petrovich says children are 7 times more likely to believe in God. Why? Because a child doesn't go to university, high levels, doesn't go to work, doesn't have responsibilities, doesn't have to, go to meetings and stuff. Occasionally may go to preschool, do a few paintings, drink milk and come home. That's the most a child will do. That's why they say a child will see a big person, say you're fat. Say a skinny person, you're skinny. And grandma doesn't give him toffee, says I don't like you. Children are very direct, they're very logical, they're very to the point. Why is this there? Why is that happening? It's to the point. Human beings, we become too philosophical. Philosophy, I've studied philosophy. Some questions in philosophy are useless. They're not going to help us in life. But knowing God will help us. Because if you believe in God, that means you have right and wrong. Science can't prove to you what's right and wrong. Science can't prove to you that eating somebody is disgusting. It can't prove that to you. Science can't prove to you that poking someone is bad. Just this. It can't prove it to me. It's no, but hey, harm and this, you're harming him, but he's smiling. It's confusing. Do you see?
Sometimes you're right. When the people was born, they have the very closely connect with the natural source. The nature maybe they connect with the God. But after born, they forgot some things. Most of the people forgot a lot of things, like the swimming. If you put the newborn baby into the waters, he can swim very good because he was born from the water. So a lot of people, after several years later, they forgot how to swim. He was learning another ways of learning.
But it's funny you mentioned that because Allah said the same thing in the Quran. Allah said that He created us as Muslims. So when we're young, we're born as Muslims, but it is our parents that turn us into Christians, Jews, and this and that. So it reflected the same point that you said.
Yes. They regain something, regain the skill. Whole life from the children, they was born with natural souls, gets all the things in the souls, but they forgot. And then the whole life was a process to the learning and the regain the skill, the knowledge, and the end of the life, they get the whole natural soul again.
Yes.
Like the beginning of your life. So this is a circle.
But we also believe that with God, like I mentioned, that just like you're born with the innate ability to swim, to walk, to communicate, but as we know from studies as well, you're also born with an innate disposition to believe in God as well. But then we lose it.
Yeah, we lose it.
Why? Because exams, money, people, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it is, all of this stuff. Desires, it distracts us. And then we realize, the girlfriend or the boyfriend today with me, tomorrow with somebody else. Money today with me, tomorrow with someone else. It's the same.
Yes, not stay for a long time.
And Alan, what I would like to tell you is, you said, life is a learning process, right? We're always learning, we're growing, and so on and so forth. But a lot of it is up to us, because, for example, myself, if I want to learn Chinese, for example, maybe I start studying it very, very hard, right? And maybe in 1 year, do you think I can speak Chinese maybe in 1 year if I study every day? Do you think I could speak Chinese?
A little.
I think that's no problem.
Mandarin. Good.
So, if I decide to do that, right, and in 1 year I can speak some Chinese, right, I can also decide if I want to know God. I can also decide if I want to learn about God. It's my decision. It's my decision. I don't have to leave this for later or whatever. If I really want to know about God, I can decide it right now, and I can look for the answers. Try to find out more about God. A lot of it is up to us. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
So like we've had in this discussion, and like you've said as well, the answer that makes the most sense to you about how everything got here is God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a very tough question, and why learning the philosophy was the early stage in the middle school and the beginning of the colleges. So this question, I asked me